Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can make your own reverse glass gilded piece without using really expensive materials and equipment. I've got my little ampersand ready here, printed out in reverse. Now this is 24 carat gold leaf transfer, so it's attached to a piece of tissue, and this is what I use for oil gilding. Now this book of 25 leaves measuring 8 by 8 centimetres square costs around £50. Compared to these books of variegated metal leaf, which it's made from zinc and copper, and it's given a chemical treatment which creates these amazing patterns, really beautiful. It comes in all sorts of colours and patterns. And the leaves are larger, measuring 15 centimetres squared. And a book of 25 leaves costs you between £12 and £15. And these are brilliant for doing oil gilding. So you wouldn't be able to do the mirror gild with this because it's too heavy. And you can handle it as well, so you don't need the gilder's tip. Just look at the beautiful colours of that one. You get kind of like leopard skin type prints and oh yeah, there's the leopard skin. And there's a kind of tiger skin effect, and they come in blues and oranges. And the only thing is it will tarnish. So say if I'm using this on a sign and it's going to be outdoors, it needs to be really well varnished afterwards, because whereas real gold will not tarnish, it will just stay looking amazing for years. But this, because it's got copper in it, it will start to go green and tarnished when the air gets to it. But yeah, if you just want to have a play around, then it's brilliant stuff, because it's dead cheap. And this is Wonder size. You can use any sort of acrylic water-based size to apply your metal leaf onto the glass. So I'm going to attach this behind my glass. So, and again, this is just a small little photo frame. I've already cleaned the glass, and I'm just going to pop that on the back of the glass with some masking tape. And now I'm going to use a Posca paint pen to draw the ampersand onto the back of the glass. This is a 3M, so quite a fairly fine nib. And again, just draw carefully around the outline, trying not to touch the areas where you're going to be gilding with the metal leaf. Now I'm going to leave this to dry, which won't take long, but I'll probably want to go over with a second coat, because just to fill in anywhere where the light's coming through, and just to make the outline thicker and bolder. So here I'm just coming in again and just going over it all, and it's dry enough. If you go too early, you can lift what you've already got down there, so you just need to make sure it's nice and dry before you do this second layer. And now we're ready to start gilding. So I've got a small brush here. I'm going to dip it into the Wonder size, There's another maker's called Polyvine. It's just acrylic water-based size that you're using here. Now we're just going to apply just a nice even layer. Don't go in too thick. You don't want to lift by accident the Posca paint. So just go very carefully. Keep, you don't want it all thick and gloopy and runny. Just a nice thin layer. Try and go right up to the lines everywhere. Just cover all that. I'm just doing this bottom section here. Because I'm going to do something different at the top afterwards. But once you've painted a nice even layer all over the inside of this ampersand, we need to leave it for about 15 minutes and it will go nice and tacky. So you'll just test it with the back of your knuckle, and it wants to kind of feel like sticky tape. So I've let it sit for about 15 minutes and here I am just testing it with the back of my knuckle. Just, yeah, that's nice and tacky now. So that's ready to take our transfer metal leaf. So we just lay it over the whole area. Press down lightly. And that will stick to all the areas with the size. There's a little bit missing on this corner, so I'm just going to rub some more onto there. Now I'm using a soft makeup brush to just very gently sort of push off all the excess metal leaf where it hasn't stuck down. Now you can see there's some areas there where it hasn't taken. I probably just didn't go right up to the edges. So I'm going to reapply some more size where those gaps are. And then we can just apply some more gold leaf to it. Leave it again for 10-15 minutes to go tacky, and then just come back in with a metal leaf to cover those gaps. And just brushing off all the excess again. I think that looks really nice. It's not a mirror finish, but that metallic gold colour really catches the light. So I'm going to put glitter around this top part. I'll just give this a quick clean. And I just cleaned off some of the pen, so I need to touch this back up. There we go. And let that dry for a sec. I'm going to use the Wonder size again. And just paint this onto the top section. Again, I'm just putting it on as thinly as I can. I don't want it to damage my pen work, but just make sure it's all evenly covered. And I'm not going to wait for it to go tacky this time. Just some ordinary Hobbycraft glitter here. I quite like this turquoise colour. And I'm going to sprinkle it all over the sides. And just press it down gently. And leave that for a few minutes to bond. Okay, let's take a look. I'm just going to put a piece of folded up paper underneath to catch the glitter. The light's coming through the glitter, so I'll do another layer of Wonder size and put some more glitter on there. So I've just poured a little bit into a separate container because I don't want to get glitter in the bottle. So I'm just going to use this to touch up. Add more glitter. And just leave that again for a few minutes. Okay, and here's the finished piece. Well, nearly. I just need to put it in the frame and put a backing on it. You could add to it. You could put, you could draw in little stars or flowers to have some more decorative elements in there. I would also, normally I would back up, say, blue paint over the blue glitter and maybe orange or red to back up this gold metal leaf here, just to seal it all in. But for now, I'm just going to use a backing blue. That could work, but it's a bit too close to the blue or red. Red works quite well. Or a sort of patterny paper. Yeah, I think it's really nice. It really catches the light. So although it's not a mirror gild, you've got a really beautiful shine there from the metal leaf and the glitter. And then you could just, yeah, experiment with all sorts of backgrounds for it. I quite like this black and white. I'll show you another one that I did earlier too. So this was a sort of monoline piece of lettering. I used black paint with a brush for that. You probably could use Posca. So what I did is I drew the lettering out onto tracing paper and then turned the tracing paper the other way, so it was opposite, so it was back to front, and put it behind the glass. I then painted that on. Then when the paint was completely dry, painted all of it with Wonder Size apart from the middle of the star. And then when it was tacky, put down the metal leaf, and then afterwards finally the glitter. So just experiment, have fun, get a better picture of those in the light. So yeah, it makes a really nice little gift or something to have up on your wall. So thanks for watching and happy gilding. Bye.